Hi, I'm Lisa Gonzales, Chief Business Officer here in Mount Diablo. And this week, I'm just going to take a handful of questions that I know have come up and a couple of topics that I wanted to toss in. So the first one has to do with how many new stimulus funds we're expecting and the services that will be provided. So let me start by talking about the funds. There are three amounts of money that we are expecting to get. We do not know when we will get all of it. We have not submitted the grants for two of them because it's not time yet to have that completed. We're in the feedback stage right now. And then finally, the apportionment or the distribution of these amounts has not been set yet. The final one that you see down there on the bottom, ESSER 3, there's a potential of that amount of money, but nothing has been determined. There is no plan. We don't have any guidelines, but this is the approximate number that we have seen. So the question is, what services will be provided for these amounts of money? And that's what we're working on right now. There's something called the LCAP, the Local Control Accountability Plan. We've been having discussions here in the district, especially with many of our groups and our board, groups like our parent advisory, our CAC, our budget advisory, our DLAC, which is our English language team, had another meeting last night, and we're talking about and brainstorming different services that we can provide in order to spend these funds. One of the questions here is, what major fiscal changes has the state announced since the governor had his budget message back in January? And I'll tell you, this is one of my questions. And the reason is because we've had two big changes that have come down within the last week. And the reason that these are important is because we know that we're getting all these stimulus funds that you saw on the last page. A lot of these come from the state. The challenge is that the state is going to give us money, and then it is going to charge us more, if you will, for some different programs. So for example, we know that there was a great deal of unemployment that was filed. Certainly a lot of fraud that took place as well. So here in our school district, the increase is going to go from 0.05% to 1.32%. So what we do is we take a look at all the costs of staff, and our cost for unemployment insurance is going to go from 110,000 to 2.49 million. If we start adding more positions, you're going to see that 2.49 million increase. The second thing that went up within the past 24 hours, I know that chief business officers all over the state have been reacting, as have I. There is an increase in the state teachers' retirement system. This is our contribution to it from the district perspective. It's going from 15.92% to 16.92%. So that 1% increase is about a $1.5 million increase to our budget. Are we going into state receivership? No, we are not. A district goes into state receivership when it is negative for one or more budgets, which means that we can't pay our bills this year or the following year. But when you've got multiple years of that happening, that's when you go into state receivership. And we are working very hard to make sure that that does not happen. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that we are doing is that FCMAT, the Fiscal Crisis Management and Assessment Team, is going to be coming into the district probably starting within the next week or so. And they're going to be coming in and taking a look at 20 different indicators. And those indicators are risk factors of fiscal insolvency. And they're going to work with us. They're going to take a look at processes from fiscal, from purchasing, from human resources, you name it, across the district. They're going to look at the dynamics across the district. They're going to look at some of our collective bargaining agreements. And really what they do is they're going to give us feedback in about 20 different categories. And I have a handful of them that are there on the left side. These are just a few. But what they do is they come in and really it's like 3 full pages. Like I've got examples here, 3 full pages of all the questions and all the documents they're going to be taking a look at to identify ways that we can improve what it is that we do so that we can make sure that we stay fiscally solvent. Got a question for me next week? Is there a topic you'd like to hear? By all means, send that to CBO at mdusd.org. See you next week.